You see, the way you usually actually so keen that you must pay your rent. Probably right now, I'm making this video at around 17th of May, all right? The point is this. Usually make sure that, hey, by the time now you're on the 1st or 2nd or by 10th, I have to make sure that I've paid my rent. You are so committed to that. The way you usually look at it and you're like, you know what? I have to pay my electricity bill. I have to pay for my, school fees. I have to make sure that I pay for my debt. I have to make sure that I pay for all the bills that I have, the utilities, the water bills. You cannot negotiate with it. You see that we usually say the moment you get your money and you have a budget somewhere, you say, hey, you know what? This goes for the rent. This goes for the water. This goes for the electricity. This goes for the debt. This goes for the school fees. All those are called bills, all right? All those are what? Are bills. And today, I want you to make a savings. Make it as a what? Savings. Let savings now be a what? Be a bill. The way you usually try the best as you can. For example, right now, if you do pay your rent, I mean, you cannot negotiate you paying a rent. You cannot negotiate. Even if you were to delay paying the rent, the fact remains it can delay, but it can never be paid. It cannot never be paid. It has to be paid. Whether it's now or later, it must be paid. The same case, if you commit savings, making it as a bill, that way you're gonna actually achieve what we call the wealth. Let me tell you one secret, okay? I gave a very simple example. For example, you are in a situation whereby right now you cannot call yourself financially free. You are not having what we call the financially freedom of the financial freedom. And the only way you can achieve it is obviously, you see, there is one thing that I always tell people. For example, this is you earning, all right? This is you. What happens is that you earning the very first money that you get, we call it active income. If you maybe say you're employed somewhere, we call it your salary or income, whatever you call it. Now, the point is what happens, and this is a journey all the way. This is where you want to see now the future you. Now, this is the future you. The future you want to be, say, a millionaire or a billionaire, depends on what you're aiming. Today, you are employed somewhere, you're earning an income. For you to get to this level that you want to get it, obviously, you need to achieve this through what? The journey is usually called the investment. The journey is called investment. And investment does not necessarily mean just investing your cash. Even investing in your personal growth, personal development, how you perceive things, your communication skills, how you relate with people. You know, we also try to avoid as much as we can to invest to a point whereby you eradicate the social fabric. See, now what happens, and there is no way you can actually invest without you having what we call the capital. You cannot invest. Even if I come here, I do all the time, talking all the time, I tell you to invest, and you do not have something to invest, you cannot achieve this. That's a reality. So this is where you want to go. The plan here is called the investment, and this investment can only be achieved by you having the capital. That's a reality. So, and now how do you then achieve this capital? You go back to the drawing board. The only way you achieve the capital is by scaling down on that what you earn. Let me tell you one secret. If there is a greatest source of your growth as far as the finance is concerned, is your income. I repeat, income is the primary source of your of your sort of say capital for your growth. So never ever despite it. Probably you hate your job. Well, you're not unique. Most of the people do hate their jobs, that's for sure. And what you're supposed to understand, that income that you're getting at the end of the day or week or month, whichever the time that you get paid, that is what can actually get you to raise the capital. See, now when you raise the capital, when you raise the savings here, when you do the savings, you get the capital, you go to invest, you get the investment, you get the passive income, you become what you call the financially free. That is exactly how it goes by, okay? See, now what happens is that you just want to be here and disregard all these factors. You cannot skip any step. And I always tell you that wealth is intentional. You must be intentional. Yeah, even if you go to church, you pray, you do all the sacrifices, you do whatever, you must be intentional doing something. And I always love to give this example. Can you imagine if you see me with the big muscles and big chest and, I have all those, you get what I'm saying? And then you ask me, how did I get there? Then I tell you, it just happened. It didn't just happen. I intentionally created those muscles. I intentionally did that. So if you want to be wealthy, if you want to achieve what you call the financial freedom, you must be intentional doing that specific thing. And you being intentional is when you manage that small that you have. If you cannot be able to manage the 1,000 bob, you cannot manage 1,000, 100,000. You cannot do so. See, when I say make savings your bill, is when you commit yourself, is when you program yourself. Everybody who is under you or with you, they already know. If you are the head of the family, you already know, the wife knows, the kids knows, everybody knows, this is the mission, this is the vision of the house. This amount of money has to be saved. The wife knows, well, you know what, my husband saves 20,000 each and every month. I may need to go for that outing, but I have to make sure that savings go there. For example, there is no way, I mean, seriously, unless you have a problem, there is no way somebody will tell you, hey, let's go for an outing, and you haven't paid your rent and it's due. Even if they want to go for that coffee, they cannot do so because you cannot negotiate with rent. Then why do you twist the savings? Why do you twist it? You become indisciplined. And in that process, that's why you find most of the people, only 2% of people succeed. Why? When they commit a saving as a bill, it is a bill. And let me tell you one secret. All other things that you are doing, paying your water, paying your electricity, you're paying somebody. Going for an outing, saying that you have to pay yourself. You know, some of you guys think that paying yourself is going for a hotel and maybe eating a very nice meal and maybe spending what you call a staycation. That is not paying yourself. That is paying somebody. That money is not, that is getting out of your pocket. You're not paying yourself. To pay yourself is to save, is to invest. You see, do you know what we say? Investing is buying a day that you don't have to work. I'll repeat, investing is buying a day that you don't have to work. Let's say I get paid 1,000 each and every day, for example. See, if I do something today or I create a system that can make me 1,000 Kenya shillings tomorrow, literally I don't have to work tomorrow because tomorrow has already been catered for. See, investing is buying a day that you don't have to work. So paying yourself, it is not taking yourself out. It is not treating yourself. It is not buying yourself nice clothes. You know why? It's not you benefiting. The owner of that business benefits. If you go to those big designer clothes and buy yourself a very nice, you're not paying yourself. You're paying that company. Paying yourself is that what is being called by your name. If this is 100,000, it is mine. It is mine. That is paying me. That's mine. But if I go buy a pen like this, yes, it's helping me right on the board, but the fact remains, the money is with that guy. See, let me tell you one secret. Wealth exchanges hands each and every day. And if you're not wise, you'll just be a conveyor belt. You just be standing. You get, you give. You get, you give. You just be a conveyor belt. You have to create system. You have to create disturbances. In between it gets in and before it gets out. Create some disturbances, some stress in between that you retain some. Can you just imagine if you're just a conveyor belt? It comes in, gets out. Comes in, gets out. And that way, you just become an individual who complains all the time. Hey, you know what? I won't become wealthy. You don't have the systems to be wealthy. You don't own the systems. I tell you, do some delayed gratifications. You cannot do that. The moment you get your 2 million, 3 million, you think buying a car. The car is not even an investment. You're not doing the Uber business. You're not doing taxis. You're not doing the logistics. You just want to have a car because you want to enjoy yourself. And that's why you find most of the people tend to think, see, when we pay the bills, when we pay the water, when we pay the rent, when we pay the school fees, when we pay the debt, we are not paying ourselves. All that are just cash out. Nothing. It's just going out. That's not ours. That is going out. That's not, even when you pay school fees and you're educating your kid, the fact remains the education that the kid gets is not even yours. It's his or hers. That's for sure. And when they get employment, the primary people they think about is themselves, not you. You are secondary to them. It's funny, I know it's tough to accommodate that, but that's the reality. For example, let's be sincere, honestly speaking. If today I get money, let's say I'm married and I have my own things, who do you think is the priority? Is it where I come from or where I am right now? I'm saying if I was married, what do you think would be the first priority? Even if you are single, if I get the money, do you think I'll first pay my rent or I'll pay someone's rent? You know, it's good to be sincere sometimes anyway, my dear brothers and sisters, because this is a fact, there's a reality, and the earlier you accept it, the better. Other people come second. I come first, my family second, and then other people. It goes like that. It's a reality, it's a fact. So now the point happens when I keep on telling you, save, invest, save, invest. Make it a bill. And you know why most of the people don't save? Because you can be able to negotiate with this. It's like, let's I'm not preaching, but let me just give you some very simple here. I don't know whether you have known one thing about the 10 commandments. 10 commandments. 10 commandments, the very first 4 commandments. If you break the very first 4 commandments, nobody can sue you, even the government. Nobody can sue you. And they are the most violated commandments. Keep the Sabbath day holy. If you don't do that, no government can actually sue you. Don't have any other idol god, not other name of the Lord with a vain and all those kind of things. If you can't, nobody can sue you. But the moment we go beyond that, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not now the government comes in. See, now the same case applies. Now contextualize that information and bring it to the point that I'm trying to drive at. Having a saving as your bill. You know why you can't save? Because after all, it's my will. I mean, I can just say, I won't save, I won't. But you cannot negotiate with rent. The landlord is there, the landlady is there, they want the cash. They don't. You cannot negotiate with them. Even if when you have 2,000 and maybe say you pay your house rent for 2,000, you'd rather go to them and tell them, you know what, I only have this 2,000. For sure, it's enough to pay for your rent. But honestly, if I pay you, my kid's gonna go hungry. I would advise you kindly take 1,000. I remain with us. Can you imagine you negotiating with your savings to that point? I'm telling you, everybody will be successful. True. True, everybody will be successful. Because most of the people who are watching me right now, I know you're so glared to my camera right now. Most of the people are jokers. They are not committed. And if we commit ourselves to that point, I am telling you, success will not be a question of if, it will be a question of when, because you possess all the qualities. Let me tell you one secret, and I have to repeat this point. Success is an intersection between 2 points. There's hard work and being lucky. And I told you, you cannot control how lucky you can be. The reason why you gamble and bet is because you think that you are lucky. You know, you're not. You cannot tell. You have to work hard. And guess what? Hard work beats talent all the times. So you need to do something. So go ahead and commit that savings as your bill. And I would say this, prioritize that bill of savings, because among all the bills that you have, it is the only one that is paying you. It is the only one that safeguards your future. It is the only one that really cares and caters for your future. Landlord, you paying the rent does not care about you. They do not. That is an investment. For God's sake, that is an investment that they have, and they are there to make money, not friends. If you want to make friends, go sell ice cream. That's how it goes by. So you have to be sure that paying yourself first, that is bill of savings for the purposes of investment. You raise the capital, you invest to get the passive income, you achieve the financial freedom, you become a landlord or a landlady in future. That is the only route. But if you live there, you just want to enjoy life, you want to have fun, life is for the living, you only live once, all that kind of things, you wait until you hit 30. You wait until you hit that 5. For those who are watching me and they're that 5, do you think life is short? It's too long. When you're at your 20 or 19, you think like life is too short. A time will come. Right now, what you're having is what we call the crowd thinking. See, when you have crowd thinking is when, by the way, do you know one thing? When people are men together, do you know they tend to have a low IQ? I don't know whether you knew that. When a lot of people come together, they tend to have the lowest reasoning. I don't know whether you know that. But when you're alone, you tend to be smart. And that's when you are in campus or when you're in high school. You tend not to worry about most of the things because, for example, you can remember when you used to fail an exam. And then you realize not only you, everyone has failed. How did you used to feel? It's not only me. In Swahili, we say kifo cha wengi ni harusi. At that particular situation, but if you are the only one in that case scenario, then you'll be like, But the moment now you go home with a failed document, maybe say your papers and something, that's now the tattoo hits you. The moment you graduate and everybody goes their ways. For example, right now, I don't even have trace of people whom we actually went with in campuses and all those kind of things. But when we were striking and hitting those glasses and being chased back home, our parents were to pay, 5,000, 2,000. And now you realize your home is not even in a position to actually go ahead and... You get the thing. Sometimes before you participate in anything, be very careful. Okay, we never participated in those breaking of things. Personally, I never did that. But at times you find that it just gets you because you get punished collectively. So don't let yourself be punished by life collectively just because you're hanging around with people who are buying cars anyhowly, people who are just buying anything at any given time. They're just squandering the money and then you're doing so. At time, a reality will kick in. And the moment the reality kicks in, that's the time now you look for somebody who can advise you when you're at your 50. That's the time now you realize you've messed up. And the moment you hit your 30 or 35, that's the time now you realize now the anxiety has developed. You realize all your peers, they have some properties, they have invested. You did nothing. That's where the problem comes in. So guys, make sure that you make a bill, or rather make a savings, another bill. Make it a bill and prioritize that bill. For God's sake, that's the bill that pays you, none any other in that bill. And if you would like to know much about this information on how you can make a bill, or rather savings your bill, How about you join me on 19th of May? I will have our Google Meet video call, me and you. Have a session. You ask me questions in real time. I answer you on how you can create a structure that will help you to make your savings a bill. Go take that number of mine from the description of this specific video. Shoot me a call. It's only 1,500. Yeah, you know what? Well, how much have you lost so far? Sometimes it's good to take an action and do something as far as your life is concerned. Go take that number of mine from the description. Be a member of that particular session that I'll be having, God willing, on 19th of May this year, 2024, and we can do something great. For now, it's a goodbye. Don't forget to hit the subscription button. This is Good Joseph speaking, and make sure that you like the video. It does not cost you anything. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.